Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Homeless Veteran Christian Transition Program, Veteran Rescue Mission. Proud to be here, proud to serve it, and proud to be your host. I again have another amazing celebrity co-host flew in from the Bahamas. He was on vacation. No, yes, no. Andreas Ruiz with I Believe in Myself speaking, coaching, and authoring projects. I'm going to add a new title every single time. And we, as always, have an amazing show for you today and some amazing guests. But as you know, this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if we did not give grace to a very loving Father that makes this all very, very possible. And we usually think of with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And those who are listening right now know that I read that every single time, because if I don't, I will mess it up. I practiced it. So,
That's beautiful.
I appreciate you. So that being said, Mr. Andreas Ruiz, you actually, God and his funny little sense of humor, you know our first guest today somehow. I don't even know how you know our first guest. I look forward to hearing about that. But our first guest is Mr. Alex Liu, the founder and the commandante of Ripple Studios. And man, I really can't gush enough about this guy. He's just, in so many ways, not only an up-and-comer in Tucson, but probably just an up-and-comer on this planet. Because ever since I met this guy, I've just been knocked off my shoes. I don't even know how old he is, but I'm guessing I have a few years on him. But he's he's brilliant. He's so talented. Everything he puts his hands on, he just has such a professional touch. And the fact that he is certainly a soldier for the kingdom, looking to do some kingdom work, is just not only icing on the cake, but it is the cake. So I say all that to say, welcome to the show, Alex. We appreciate you being here, brother.
Thank you, John. I'm so excited to be here. So honored.
Yeah, no, the honor is ours for sure. And for those who don't know what Ripple Studios is, go ahead and fill us in.
Yeah, so Ripple Studios, I started this film production company. It's my calling, and which is to share stories and stories that will make an impact to the world. And I believe that film has the power to reach the masses. And so the Ripple Studios, we partner with kingdom-minded entrepreneurs, nonprofit leaders, and just mission-driven leaders to share their story. And right now we offer documentary filmmaking, as well as short film videos, like social media reels, as well as video podcasts.
Yeah. And I don't need to tell you, Andreas, but man, the cleanness of his videos. But you fill me in. You said you've worked with him before.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I went to go interview Crystal Popov. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yes, that's her.
Yeah, so I met him there, and just really cool dude from the get-go. Like, I really liked his attitude, and that's something that I really, really appreciate about somebody. And that's so if you want to work with him, I highly recommend him, because he's also very professional, very kind. You can tell he has a good heart and very good attitude. And I know people, they appreciate that. So, somebody like him, I highly recommend him based on his characteristics. And I think for me, that's something that's extremely important in a person. And he definitely, checks off all the boxes, like, for sure.
For sure. It's funny that you mentioned, as much as I've been kind of just in my own world, because we did the TV show last season, and I've been done so much media over the past year. I've been so focused on the art of what he does, and not so much of the process of what he does. And you're I don't know if you probably know this of yourself, or at least have a sense. You have this calmness to you that I could see on a set, that you know, on every set there's like a storm going on, but I could see you being that eye in the storm, that calmness in the storm, that definitely that calms that anxiety. So I guess just briefly speak to that, just in regard to your process and putting together pieces, whether it's for yourself or other people, and how you take what is a very stressful situation and kind of navigate your way through it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. I love the filmmaking process. So it really, with the filmmaking, with the schedules usually can be very hectic, but for me, I'm like having fun. I'm in my element, and I thrive in that environment.
That's cool.
And so, well, the creative process, whether it's working with a client or for my own projects, it's basically a 3-step process. We start with the pre-production, which we plan the location and the story and the script. So basically getting ready for the filming day. And so there's a lot work goes before the filming day, and then so we can ensure that the filming day we get all the shots that we want done. And so, and then the time that takes the longest is the post-production. So once we shot all of the scenes, and it could be, multiple locations, sometimes multiple cities, and then I'll come back, go to my editing studio, and then start to edit. And the editing part is actually where the final story is being formed. And so where you start with the script of whether it's a podcast or even a short film video with 60-90 seconds. You film all the content, but sometimes you have new ideas when you sit with all those ingredients. I see like it's kind of like making cooking food, right? And you prepare all those ingredients, and well, in the editing studio, during the cooking process, you might feel inspired, or I might feel inspired to add this shot in or add this music in. And so you really get to shape the story through the final process, and usually it takes much longer than the filming itself. But the entire process is fun for me, and I make it very as simple and streamlined for the clients. Because sometimes people, may that be their first time on camera, right? Or the first time they're sharing, they're talking on video, and people sometimes they can get a little nervous. But so a part of the art is to make people feel comfortable in front of the camera, and to really help them to empower them and encourage them. And so to make the process just stress free, we usually take basically everything. It's do it for you, so that they don't need to do the editing, worried about the editing or the filming or the scripting, anything at all.
It's interesting. As you're saying that, like when it comes to like whether it's a local church, a local ministry, not even local, a church or ministry that want to utilize your services, like what does that look like in application?
Yeah, and so every so we have a proven process where we start with a discovery call. This is where I get to hear, like, what are your goals for your ministry? Like, what are your goals for your business or for your personal brand? And to really hear your vision and your goals, because so that way we can because everything we do here is customized, and we customize a solution that solves the problem that you're wanting to solve. Because ultimately people are not investing in a good looking video. That's what we do, yes, but they're also looking for the video to solve a problem, whether it's they're trying to reach more people, right? Because a lot of ministries are doing really, really great work and impactful work. And sometimes not enough people knows about it. And so that's where we come in, because right now in this day and age, all the eyeballs, all the attention are on people are on their phone all the time. And so being able to highlight what makes your ministry powerful, or to highlight those testimonies, we put together those videos for you, so that way you can reach more people. And right now also with social media, you can reach beyond just your city, right? Because you can reach people all over the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And for people who want to utilize your services, how can they do that?
Yeah, so right now we're on the current process of rebranding our website, but you can check out our work at Ripple Studios USA on Instagram.
Awesome.
And Ripple Studios on Facebook And then you can email me at alex@alexliufilms.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Good
much,
stuff.
brother, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
That's Alex Liu with Ripple Studios. This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain, here with Andreas Ruiz with I Believe in Myself, coaching, teaching, learning, believing, being great. We'll be right back after the break.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
And we're back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I'm Pastor John McClain. I just wanted to mix it up, man. I've been watching our old shows, and I was like, man, it's like the same thing over and over again, which is great. You know, it's a great little thing, but we got to, you got to mix it up every now and again. So
Come on, Bobby.
that was for you, buddy. That was for you. I was actually looking on the KVOI YouTube page, and there's 139 episodes they have cataloged of the Common Good Radio Show on there. Yeah.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
yeah, it's nuts. So, so we're gonna try to switch it up for the next 139 cataloged episodes. But I'm Pastor John, and that voice you hear on the opposite side, one of the OG co-hosts of the Common Good Radio Show, Mr. Andreas Ruiz, which when you originally started with me almost 6 years ago on the Common Good Radio Show, actually 5 years, going on 5 years now, you were, I Believe in Myself, speaking and coaching.
It was just I believe in myself.
I believe myself. Just I believe myself.
But then I changed it to I believe in myself, leadership, coaching, and speaking.
Yep. And now there's going to be probably another name coming on. It has to be, because you're definitely an author extraordinaire and an author. Like when they say in the Bible, it talks regularly about teaching a man to fish. And that is certainly what you have done in so many different capacities, but certainly now with books.
Yeah.
You have now taught a man how to fish in regards to capturing their story
Yeah.
and sharing it with the world. And and I guess speak to that even before we get to kind of the current projects that you're working on. How many books you've written yourself up to this point, and in like what gave you the motivation to even write that first book and get to where you are now, where you're helping other people do that same thing?
Yeah. So for me, it was just wanting to write about my morning routine. That was my first book, because I really saw how it really helped me out, and I remember it was me and you when we were pushing each other to write that first book. And
I didn't think you were going to beat me to it. I really didn't.
Yeah. No, man. So yeah, it was cool just to experience that and then just put it out there. And then from there, it was just writing it. I remember one time telling you that I've written 37 books. That was the goal. And 37 books or more. And then right now we're working on number 20, which is really cool. So that's really exciting. And yeah, we're up to more than 60 people that I've helped be an author since last August. So it's been less than a year, and so far it's a little over 60 people.
Yeah, I mean, and I bring that up just because not too often that I speak about my testimony or speak to people that really have impressed me in my life, that your name doesn't come up. Thanks, just man. Because you have shown me the power of belief, just as a model, as the billboard, that I drive by every day. It feels like, where due to the fact that you believed in yourself, like no, you didn't let anybody, including yourself, tell you that you couldn't do it. You just tried, and it worked out every single time. And definitely, writing a book, you've shown me that it's not as sophisticated as rocket science-y as people have in their head. Yeah. It's just as simple as give 30 minutes a day to it until you're done.
There you go. Yeah. And then I think it's also finding the who, not the how. I think, and that's why we're the who. So I help people with just making it as simple as possible. And people, when they finish, they're like, what else do I do? And I'm telling them, that's it. And it's like, really? And yeah. And people, I think they just want something overcomplicated when I make it super simple. Okay, just do these 3 things and then you're done. And then they're like, wait, but there has to be more. Like, this cannot be that easy. It is that easy. But it's not simple, but it is easy. It's just that you just got to find somebody that's already done it, and then they'll give you the map on how to get there quicker, and you'll save time, you'll save energy. Like the other day I had somebody's like, oh, I don't know, I think it's a little too much. And I'm like, well, how important is your time to you? Like, because you could do it by yourselves, absolutely, and it could be cheaper, but how much time are you going to spend doing it? 30 to 40 hours, and this only is going to take you about 90 minutes. It's your choice. So, I mean, me personally, I value my time. So I pay somebody. Like just yesterday, I paid $300 for a summit where it's just for a 5-hour masterclass. But they're going to give me the blueprint on how to get there faster. So I'd rather pay somebody for that than for me try to figure it out for months or maybe even years. So it's like you just got to decide, okay, well, is my time valuable? And if it is, then, that's why you pay for it.
Yeah, and I agree with you 1,000% on that. And as much as like that is absolutely true. If someone called you or any person to kind of help somebody write a book today, they could, but you have created a program that makes it so almost literally nobody there are no excuses. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable to write a 50, 60, 100-page book today, that's understandable. That's even a person with a degree can understand that can be a little bit difficult, but you've made it so you can even taking that excuse out of their toolbox. Speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I give people the step-by-step process on how to write their chapter. Once they're done, we have the editor look at it, they edit it, they show them what they changed, and then the one document that's all clean and with all the corrections. And then after that, we do the formatting for both ebook and paperback, and then we do the book cover for both ebook and paperback, and then we publish for you. And it's that simple. And I've told people it takes them about 90 minutes, and there's still people that are still kind of procrastinating or saying, no, I'm not ready. And really, I think it's just fear. It's just fear of like, it's not going to come out perfect, or I'm not good enough, or it's not as good as theirs. And then that's what stops them, really. It's really not a matter of time. It's just also priority. And if you're not prioritizing then that means you don't want it. But it's usually a fear that people have.
And I was lucky to be part of your first group book project, and I guess you're on like 7th, 8th.
This is the 9th. Yeah. 9th. And
what I love most about being part of that group book project, even though I've already written a couple books on my own, with your help and in many different ways, but with that group book project, man, you made it as easy as I've ever written a chapter, written anything, and to be part of something with 7 other amazing stakeholders in the community that not only helps put my story with their story, but helps bring our network together, bring our platform together. And then, like you're saying, okay, with those group book projects, for those people that maybe at one time didn't even think they can be in a book at all, they now are talking about writing a whole entire book. I kind of speak to that in some of the experiences you've had with those people that even had a hard time getting into the group book project, and then going, and then them once they got into it, this passion that you've let loose and where you're working at with them now.
Yeah, so I'll just talk about one current client, Lizette. She really liked it. She was like, wow, this is a lot easier than I thought. And she got speaking engagements, opportunities because of this. And then I said, what about the bigger book? Are you ready for that? And she said, sure. You're like, let's do it. And then we started in November, and right now it's going to come out April 23rd. So yeah, in about 3 days.
That's awesome.
And it's going to come out April 23rd. That's all I could say.
Nice.
Maybe it's already out. But so with her, it was just so simple for her. And I told her she wrote it out like in voice, where she was just voice to text, and it was like, there was like some mess here and there, but that's why I have an editor for you, and he fixed it. He fixed the periods, the commas, the run-on sentences, all that stuff, and now it looks polished, clean. And now she's like, okay, wow, this was easier than I thought too. And now she's doing speaking, coaching. I mean, what it also does is opens up your mind to all the possibilities that are out there that you didn't have before you wrote a book. That's what a book does to you.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I feel like we could spend 3 more
Dude,
episodes on this.
I know,
It's so
man.
awesome. But
Yeah.
for people who want to, whether they want to plug in with one of the book projects, want to write their own book, or utilize your services with coaching, or have you speak at one of their events, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can send me an email at ibelievecal@gmail.com, or you can send me a text at 520-392-9179. You can also check me out on Facebook, Andres Ruiz, LinkedIn, Andres Ruiz, Instagram, Andres Ruiz Motivates. And yeah, you can send me a message. Wow, it's so funny. Yeah, you can send me a message and I'd be happy to help you.
Awesome. Well, Andreas, brother, thank you so much as always, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's Andreas with Ruiz. Andreas
Louise.
Ruiz
Remember that?
with I Believe in
Yeah, that's
Myself.
right, Louise. She's Louise.
This is the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I always want to thank our sponsors, Proper Villains for Tucson, We Care Tucson, 100 plus guys who give, White Stallion Ranch, Tucson Tool Shop, Down Till Dust Landscaping, Arizona Choice Home Care Solutions, Hope Dealers Global, CB2PGA, and Pep Inc. And remember, at the end of every day, it's night.